Are you tired of setting goals year after year and then never achieving half of them? Don't worry, in today's video, we're talking about the one difference that you can make in your goal setting strategy so that you can achieve everything that you want in the new year. Let's get right into it. If you're new here, my name is Liz and I help coaches and consultants add video to their business. Make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss any of my future content. Now you're probably wondering, why is she talking about goal setting instead of talking about videos? Well, in fact, the reason that I'm talking about this very different topic is because goal setting is just so crucial and important to every single one of us. I can't help but talk about it. Whether you're a business owner or whether you're not, you need to be working actively towards setting goals. But today we're going to talk about how you can do them the right way. The mistake that I made for years was setting goals kind of in the traditional way that is taught all over the internet. And what I would find is that by June, I would be fed up of my goals. I would be exhausted trying to achieve them, and I wouldn't be really able to say that, yes, I achieved those goals. Recently, meaning in the last 1 year, I changed the way that I was approaching my goal setting. And in fact, I have a completely different strategy and ideology around it now. This has really helped me to change the way that the last year was, where I could actually say, yes, I've achieved a lot of the things that I wanted to achieve. So this is why I want to come on and just share these ideas with you so that you can take them and see whether they might help you make next year the best year ever. Let's jump right into it. The main idea that I'm going to be talking about today is the difference between having outcome-oriented goals and process-oriented goals. My entire life long, I was always creating outcome-oriented goals where I would think about this big thing that I want to achieve in the next 1 year and write it down on a piece of paper. That was solely focused on the actual outcome. For example, I want to buy a new car, or I want to save a certain amount of money, or I want to make a certain amount of money in my business, or I want to lose 15 pounds, or whatever the case might be. All of those type of goals are the traditional goals. Now, yes, I agree that you could finesse those goals a little to make them SMART goals, as we've heard all over YouTube. Nevertheless, they are still outcome-oriented goals where you are solely focused on that final outcome. The big difference that I made this year is that I shifted away from outcome-oriented goals and I focused more on process-oriented goals. So I am not having this lingering list of 5 huge goals that I'm working towards. Instead, I am having a list of processes, habits, actions that I am going to be working on daily or weekly, and I am going to go through that throughout the year. What you would find is that as you are working on setting up the right processes in your life, the byproduct of having these new habits is that you will actually end up achieving those bigger outcomes. So you are working in a different mindset and with a different frame of mind in the first place. There is a huge difference between having outcome-oriented goals and process-oriented goals, even though the final end result might be the same. The way that you approach your goal setting is vastly different depending on whether you take each of these different strategies. So let's dive deeper into what both of these things mean and how you can start doing this in the new year. If I say that I want to lose 15 pounds in the new year, January 1st, I have to wake up and I still can't say that I've done that. January 2nd, I still can't say that I've done that. So day after day moves along where I still can't actually tick off that I've achieved that goal. All of this inability to tick off that you've achieved the goal really can weigh a person down. And often we will find that the longer we go without being able to say that we've been able to achieve that goal, it will continue to put us in a negative state as we are working towards this. The problem with this is that you end up in a pattern of failing daily. Every single day passes where you still cannot say that you've actually achieved that technical official goal, that big goal that you have written down somewhere. So really, how long could you possibly go failing daily before it starts to really weigh on your mind? This is one of the reasons by around March or so, people fall off the bandwagon with their New Year's resolutions, because it is mentally exhausting and discouraging to wake up every single day and say, I still haven't achieved that goal yet. Instead, when you focus on process-oriented goals, that changes altogether. Let's talk about all of the benefits of having process-oriented goals. So instead of saying something like, I want to lose 15 pounds in the new year, instead what I can say to myself is, I want to eat salad 4 times per week for lunch. That is a process-oriented goal. That is something that I can write down on a piece of paper or in my daily agenda or on my Notion template or on a habit tracker somewhere. And every single day I can work towards that and ask myself, did I achieve that? Did I eat my salad today? Yes or no? Now, the whole simple beauty behind this concept is the fact that you can actually start ticking things off almost on a daily basis. Once you have some small habits or processes like that written down that you are working towards on a daily or weekly basis, you have things that you can finally check mark off and say, yes, I have done that this week. So you have daily success. Imagine the difference between that. Once you start seeing on a weekly basis that you are having daily successes, that yes, you are actually doing things, you are actually achieving things, this makes a huge mindset difference when you are working towards that larger goal that you might have in your head. So the big difference here is that that process-oriented system sets you up with these habits that you are actually seeing success with on a daily or weekly basis. Those things become your new normal because you are now getting used to doing them consistently. They're small enough and achievable enough that you can actually do them consistently. The byproduct of all of that is that you achieve those goals. So you can see now that the goal at the end in both of these cases is the same, but the way that you are approaching it is vastly different. So when you are focused on process-oriented goals, you are giving yourself an opportunity to clap yourself up daily and say, yes, I've done this one thing today. Tomorrow I'm going to try to do it again. When you look back on your week and you realize that 4 times out of 7 times that week you were actually able to do that habit, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you are actually headed in the direction that you want to go. And this type of momentum and positive up talk for ourselves is what actually helps us to continue working towards our goals. So what you want to do is, for all of these big outcome-oriented goals that you have in your life, make a list of 5 to 7 new habits that you can include in your life starting tomorrow. We're not talking about old habits that you've already tried that actually didn't get you this result that you wanted already. We're talking about new habits that you are going to add to your life. This means you are going to write that list of 5 to 7 things down in a very positive way. You're not going to write them down with negative wording. For example, let's say that the bigger outcome that I have in my life is that I just want to reduce how much sugar I ingest. Instead of writing down something like, I'm going to stop eating cookies daily, that's a very negative type of topic. That's a negative sentence. Nobody wants to go and check that off every day. Instead, write down something like, I'm going to have my morning coffee every day with no sugar in it. It is a pleasure to wake up in the morning and check that off after I do that because it's written in a very positive way while still actually achieving the thing that you want to do. So write down 5 to 7 habits like this that you are going to start in a very positive wording. Don't make that list more than 10 because who in the world has time for more than 10 daily habits? You've got a life to live, friend. So don't make this very exhausting and exhaustive for yourself. Think about if I had coffee 7 days a week with no sugar in it. That is achievable. It's not the world's biggest thing that requires all sorts of support and help from people. It is a very achievable habit. When I do that 7 days in a row, or even 5 days in a row, over the course of 1 month, do you think that it would be far easier for me to start doing this? Yes. At that point, that becomes a new normal for me. Once that becomes a new normal, in a couple months, I will have understood that I will have greatly reduced the amount of sugar in my life. And this is how you achieve the bigger goal. Now, there's 2 important questions to ask yourself at this point in order to enable you to write down a list of 5 to 7 new habits. One of them is, what is the work that I need to do in order to achieve that end goal that I actually have in the back of my mind? You're not going to write down your big goal on a piece of paper and keep it plastered in front of you like we do with traditional goal setting. Instead, the only paper that you're going to have in front of you is your list of 5 to 7 new daily habits that you are going to have. That is what you are going to wake up every single day and look at. That is what you are going to work on check marking every single day. That in turn creates this momentum in your life where the byproduct is those bigger goals that you might have written on a piece of paper somewhere, but you are not going to stare at that daily. The second more important question to ask is, what is the different work that I am going to do to get that result? We are talking about 5 to 7 new habits, because you're not going to take 5 to 7 habits that you were already doing in your life, because if those 5 to 7 habits made any difference, then you would have already achieved that goal a long time ago. So let's not forget that same work generates same results. Different work generates different results. So this year you are going to put different work into the game so that you can get this new different result that you want. This is why analyzing your daily behavior, checking and seeing what it is that you were already doing that didn't make a difference till now, and then finding out there what you can delete, what you can double down on. The goal of this is not to do more work. Nobody in the world has time to do more work and to put more exhaustive efforts towards achieving their goals. The goal here is to look at what you were already doing, have an honest conversation with yourself about the fact that there is probably stuff on that list that didn't make a difference like you might have thought. Sometimes we end up just being very busy and telling ourselves that we're very productively working towards our goal, when in fact, some of those activities don't make any difference. We've just gotten used to doing them daily and they're easy and sometimes they're fun, and so we just do it. Have an honest conversation with yourself about whether those things are actually making a difference. If you think that they're not, get rid of them. Press delete on them. Instead, double down on a couple of those things that you probably know in your heart of hearts make the biggest difference. And then make that short list of 5 to 7 habits. Now, for any of you who like to use that software called Notion, which I love, 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 I've included a free Notion template in the description below, so go ahead and just grab that. This will allow you to write down and sort of introspect for yourself. What are the things that you were doing in the past that actually didn't get you where you want to go? And then what are the new habits in your life that you want to focus on? Remember, one of the key things here is that unlike traditional goal setting, you're not going to take a piece of paper and write 5 big goals for the next year and then put them on the wall in front of you and look at them every day. That's not what we're going to do. Instead, we're only going to take a piece of paper, write down 5 to 7 daily habits, and look at those every single day. Keep that separately on your own tracker or on your Notion template or on a piece of paper, and then focus on doing that daily, every single day. Give yourself a chance to check them off every single day as you do it. Now, I guarantee that if you move away from traditional outcome-oriented goal setting and instead focus on adding these new habits to your daily life so that you have process-oriented goals instead, it will be transformative for you. You will find that all these new habits of yours will become new normals for you. They will be the things that are moving you in the direction that you want to go, and it will feel far easier for you and more uplifting for you to daily see that you are making progress so that you can clap yourself up about it. So if you like this video, I hope that you will give it a like and share it off with one of your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, because every single week I bring you new content showing you how you can add video to your business, set goals for your business, and live your best life. So until next time, take care.